thoughts are not flowing, and then I'm aware of myself, and I see whatever I see in front of me. It's not, I mean, it's like completely togetherness with the nature. I just see whatever I see, like that's the same image.
Same image.
There is no like no blank or anything. Earlier I was focusing much deep into the finding such. Now I feel like whatever I see, like it's the same image, like it's the same thing. Like I don't know how to explain.
Yeah, good.
Belongingness.
I got it.
Yeah.
Good.
It's like sweet syrup inside that silence. Whatever it touches, it becomes all, and eventually it feels like one, and then calmness or sweet feeling with every object outside.
Awesome. Good.
Strength. It's an overall oneness. You are that flower is you per se. Like, I don't know.
Okay. Very nice. Okay.
Yeah, I'm having the same experience of that oneness with I feel everything that like pleasant breeze or anything unpleasant is same. Like it's no difference. It's part of me. So since if something happens to me, like any good or bad, I won't be very judgmental. I let go, like that kind of feeling. Like everything is okay around me. The feeling,
Like
non-judgmental.
What?
It's like it flows through you almost.
It flows through you. Very nice.
It pretty much becomes very natural. As she said, it flows through you. It's very natural. It's not very unnatural. It's nothing forcefully happening. It's very naturally happening.
Very nice.
But there are flashes, like if I see a butterfly,
Yeah, then you do see yourself go out and come back.
Yeah.
Did you start noticing that happening? Okay, very good. And I need everyone to share whatever little.
It became hard to even focus. I didn't even try to feel or see anything. I was just trying to be aware because it became very challenging.
Okay. Could you manage just being aware?
Yes.
That's good enough. Okay, that's good enough.
I just felt like I was just in the present moment. Every moment. It just like stop. The time is not moving.
Good. So you learned how to get there and now get established also for a little while at least. Good. You saw? It is your own skill. I'm not there with you on that walk. You're doing it to yourself. You're developing the skill. Great job. Anybody else? No.
I felt it was amazing that seeing the world without any judgment, like you are just not there and seeing as a whole entire unity, everything just feels straight, nothing attached, no judgment, no perceptions, just seeing as if everything looks the same.
Awesome.
The very thought that I need to find something that I don't know what I am, it felt like I need to find nothing, and it was all like happy. Okay, I'm free from everything.
Okay, you were happy. Good. You found happiness. What else are you looking for?
I don't have to really think about anything because I can't find anything. The very thought that. And all the thoughts that were happening, not really many thoughts came, but whatever came along, it was like, why am I thinking? And it just left, and then that happiness again, like, oh, I don't have to think anymore.
He's so cute.
Keep walking. That's exactly how I didn't have any, like, very minimal thoughts. Whenever that happened, like, the thing was like, why are you even thinking about it? You don't have to. And then, okay, let's go. So that's how I happened. Basically, there was nothing like coming out.
So what is awareness made of?
Happiness, probably.
Very nice. For your happiness, for your oneness. Yeah. And
I felt like togetherness with the nature, like looking at flowers and mountain, and like when I'm asking who am I feel like I'm just part of one of that. And togetherness with the nature.
Anybody else? Done? Anybody else?
Yeah, someone online shared their experience. As I got more established in awareness, I realized that there was this bigger awareness, something bigger which is watching everything. Even that, my awareness dropped, and there was just the whole space/silence watching everything happening. It was the witness. There was no body, no mind, and not even my awareness.
Beautiful. Very beautiful. What is this awareness, this consciousness made of? What is it made of? When you really look, you are looking at me. Yeah? Let's take one example. Awareness comes out, flows out into the mind, and that mind is looking at Ekta right now. Very clear? Yeah? Awareness in activity is the mind. Right now it's in activity, looking at me, listening to me. Let's take only one, looking. Let's keep listening aside, one at a time.
Vibrations.
Okay, beautiful. Awareness came out through the mind in the form of vibrations, according to him, and is seen. Yeah? You don't see any vibrations, that's also fine. You are just observing, seeing. What is this seeing?
Connection.
Okay, close your eyes. Seeing has ended, but there is still some part of the awareness that flows as the mind that has not ended. Eyes open again.
Memorizing.
There is a lag.
To memorize, what do you need to do before memorizing? Before that.
Register.
Before that.
Perception.
Okay. What is perceiving?
You observe.
I was perceiving a tree. Tree. You said tree.
Feel. You have to feel.
Suppose this is the tree. Yeah?
Object.
Yeah. First, I feel I am perceiving a tree, or I am seeing a tree. You understood perceiving, right? Perceiving is seeing. Same thing. I am perceiving. I have the perception of the tree. Have you really ever known the tree? Or have you only known your perception of something?
Only perception.
An image that registers in
Correct.
the mind that we can.
How do you know there is something like that out there, outside your domain range of perceiving? That is called a tree.
Memory.
You don't know. You don't know. It is your assumption.
When somebody's belief put it into.
Exactly. It is not my knowing. My knowing is what?
Just the shape, form.
This is the shape, form, what I perceive as a tree. I don't have perception of, I have just perception. And what is perception made of?
Beliefs and
No.
Just the
I put the belief aside. No, I don't know if this is a tree or not. I don't know if it really exists or not. I just know the perception of the tree. You've never really experienced a tree. Even if you're touching your iPad, your book, touch. Are you experiencing the book or the perception of the book?
perception.
Are you getting it? In your domain range lies only perception, sensations, feelings, thoughts of perception, sensation, feelings. Emotions of perception, sensation, feeling. You don't know if these objects really exist or not. All you know through your pure experiencing, the perceptions, feelings, emotions, and thoughts related to these objects. Are you getting it? Awareness is equal to consciousness is equal to knowingness. Your knowingness went to that tree and you felt one with that because you were so empty. You were not in thought. And you found that knowingness flow, the flow that you said, it just flows. That oneness, that belongingness. What was it? You realize that awareness is all around and it is this knowingness which also brings this other aspect into your frame of reality, that you don't know the world of objects really. You only know your perception of. That is why the saints say the world is an illusion. Understood?
That's the rope and the snake.
Really.
My domain range of knowing is only perception, only feeling, only sensation, only thought. I never really know objects. I don't know if this iPad exists or not. I only know perception. That is my domain range. Knowing and believing are two different things. Are you getting this?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe this is an object or I believe this is an iPad from multiple resources. That is borrowed knowledge. It is an assumption this is an iPad. It is not my experience. In experience, there is just the perception. Are you getting it? There's no perception of. There's just perception. So, stage 3, awareness is knowingness. And this knowingness is all pervading. That's how you actually have manifested from the awareness, the thought, and that thought has led to the physical world. That physical world only wraps back into the mind and the mind wraps back into the awareness. Keep mulling on this. This will open up more and more and you will start understanding what is there in the scriptures. Why do they say the world is Maya? Are you understanding now Maya? You really don't have an experience of an object. It's just perception. That's all you know. You don't have the experience of objects. You don't know objects. You only know your experience of them.
But we can perceive whatever we can with our 5 senses, right?
So I'm talking about the 5 senses right now, no?
Yeah.
You only perceive of it. You never experience it. You don't know whether the object exists or not.
What's the difference?
Sure, it's a touch, but touch doesn't tell it is this or that. That's when you need the interpretation.
I
Yeah.
think it's your senses give all the inputs, but the mind has to be engaged, right? If I
Assumption. Again, the rest of it is assumption. If I have no interpretation from anybody and you put this in my hand, all I have is knowing of perception. I have no idea what this is. Are you seeing what I'm saying? I know this only from 10 different resources and then I have an assumption this is what it is. But it is still not my experience. Move inwards. Come back to that peace. That same peace, that same thing is made only of knowingness. And you just know that knowingness is flowing everywhere. That is what you were experiencing when you were out and about. And that is why you felt there is no difference between the tree and me. How did you come to that conclusion? So airy-fairy. But it was your experience. How is this airy-fairy experience? You tell me. How do you put it in logic? This knowingness itself is all over. We are not separate objects. There are no objects really. There is no matter. It is an assumption it is matter. You have never experienced it. Name and form is given later. This is just knowingness flowing around. All you know is perception, feeling, emotion, thought. Yeah? There is no perception of it. So you don't know whether the it really exists or not. That knowingness of it all, that will expand as you go deeper and deeper and stay with it. You will start recognizing the oneness of it all more and more. You will see that one permanent thing on which everything else is changing. And then the changing stuff doesn't bother you so much because now your focus is on that awareness that was flowing. On that which you said you felt the togetherness, the belonging. There was no difference between you and the tree. That will become very strong. That will keep increasing if you keep practicing being in words.
So how do you distinguish between it exists and it doesn't exist?
We don't know whether it exists or not. We don't know that. That which is not in my experience does not exist. That is why the sages say this world is an illusion. But really the world is not an illusion. The world as I perceive it is an illusion. The world as I conceive of it is an illusion.
So it means all levels of existence are one only. It's awareness only. So whether it's body or mind or memory or the intellect,
Beautiful.
everything, ego, even everything is just awareness only.
Correct.
So how do we have to differentiate them?
Because at the ignorant side of the coin, we didn't have this kind of. So just imagine where the ignorant person is.
We still have to start from there.
You have to start from there, but you have to come up here and now get established in this recognition. Yeah, it's not easy, and it's not something small that you've gotten to right now. It's huge. Yeah, just be in this oneness. Again, turn inwards. You focus on your awareness. Again and again, inwards, inwards, inwards. Again and again, inwards. And just being in that awareness. Just being in that awareness. You really don't know objects. You don't know if this is a human body or not really. It is your assumption. Keep the assumption in the parking lot. See that your seeing is made up of knowingness, and that knowingness is everywhere. There is just knowingness. There is knowing of seeing, knowing of touching, knowing of hearing. You don't really know whether the sound exists or not. You don't know whether the form really exists or not. That is your assumption. You only know perceiving of hearing, perceiving of seeing, there's perceiving of touching, there's perceiving of smelling, yeah? There's perceiving of tasting. You don't know if those objects really exist or not. That is your assumption. That is what is bookish knowledge from others. 10 resources have said this is what it is, okay, this is what it is. I only know the perception.
Like just the smell doesn't tell. It's just a perfume or a real flower if your eyes are closed.
Correct? Just perception. Just perception. Just feeling that arises from that perception. Just an emotion that arises. Just a thought that arises. That's all my domain range is. Really, really. And see, this knowingness is flowing everywhere then. There is nothing where this knowingness is not there. Don't you see it here? Yeah? Yeah. This is something you need to work on continuously. Yeah? The stage 3 is knowingness. From the knowingness comes the oneness.